Hi everyone, welcome to my review of DragonHeart, directed by Rob Cohen from 1996. So yes, we are back once again, this time around, ready to discuss a fantasy adventure film that I saw many times as a kid, and yeah, finally rewatching this film, and I look forward to discussing this film today. There will be a spoiler warning for this discussion. If you haven't seen this film, I simply recommend seeing it first and then come back to this video, and we can go from there. We can talk about the film in the comments, and just to hear your thoughts and share your opinion on this film. And so yeah, with all that said, let's discuss my thoughts on this film, and yeah. This is a really nostalgic one for me today. I saw it a few days ago again, rewatching this one after many, many years. It'd been so long since I saw this one, and yeah, this kind of fantasy, adventure film, action. This is something that I was gravitated towards, as a kid, and I just saw many different fantasy films, over and over. And this is one of the ones that I did watch a few times, for sure. And I remember kind of crying at different moments in this film, and I think the music is a big kind of part of that. Randy Edelman composing the score, and this is one of the best, among the best film scores really of all time, and it's just so kind of iconic. It's been used in different ceremonies, compilations and montages, of course, and for different trailers as well. It's a really iconic score, and it's even when I put on certain kind of Blu-rays, Universal ones, the kind of anniversary of the Universal one, with the intro, the montage of all various films, the music that's used, in this is the Dragonheart theme, kind of To the Stars, and all this, and it's really iconic, and it's definitely one of the most emotional film scores as well, for this kind of film. Really, every time I hear this, it's just it's epic, it's emotional, it's got that kind of weight to it, and it's also got kind of adventurous beats and parts to the score. So it really is a magical score for the film. Probably. Yeah, the single greatest element of the film, and I think, I do enjoy this film. I think see again, it's the one that is quite basic at times. It's a bit generic. I would say that kind of the fantasy elements. Generic fantasy can, for me, sometimes just be fine. I think it is in this film kind of serviceable in that sense. It has got some unique kind of aspects to the film, and it does actually have quite a bit of weight, kind of as we go throughout the film, and I think Draco and Sir Bowen as well. This kind of chemistry and this friendship they form, quite a complex one at first. I think that's one of the best elements of this film as well, and I think it has got around that though. It's got kind of generic action, generic adventure stuff, and also just the fantasy elements. They're not anything too kind of special, just in my opinion, but it has got sprinkled throughout, kind of nice. Kind of warm, uplifting moments, and I think just it has got a magic to it. I think the music, especially though, it really is. It elevates the film, and it's just absolutely stunning. The score, and I think when we have the kind of prologue of the film, and kind of seeing Draco, how the king, of course, played by later on David Thewlis, kind of how it came about, how he was saved, and he's kind of got shares the heart with this dragon, of course, which at one point is the last of the dragons, and obviously the dragon slayer being Sir Bowen, played by Dennis Quaid, and that kind of after the kind of quite lengthy prologue, really, cut ahead 12 years, and that's the main bulk of the film, and I think as for the prologue, this it's probably one of the weakest parts of the film. I think it's got some cool moments, and it's cool to learn the kind of backstory, and there's quite a bit of mystery there, but just the whole kind of way the king was done really there wasn't as good as it could have been, I feel, and just a couple of moments that just a bit strange, and it's not once really the friendship kind of forms between Draco and Sir Bowen, this is when it really is a lot better, and I think it has got elements in the film that don't really work too well. I was never really too big, on throughout the entire film. The king, played by David Thewlis, I think he does, a great kind of thing at times. He's going for a more over the top kind of character here, and it's kind of I enjoy seeing David Thewlis, but the actual character and what the direction they went for is a bit generic, one note, and it's a bit too silly at times, and it kind of takes out of the tone of the film, kind of knocks that off, and it's just a bit of a, at times, it's got a weird, mashing of different, kind of tones here, it's a bit inconsistent, and, I think we've got, some really violent moments as well, quite disturbing moments, and, at times it's a bit more kind of child-friendly kind of thing, a bit more kind of Disney-esque, and, it's a weird mix at times, and, just some really dark moments that are kind of out of nowhere, and, I think despite all that, you know, I do enjoy this as an adventure film. You know, I think Draco, voiced by Sean Connery, the legend, of course. I think this is great voice acting, and it really just makes this dragon, you know, I guess among the best dragons really in film. And you know, I think just, you know, it's really charming, and you know, a lot of comedy in the film. You know, I really enjoyed the moment. You know, we have Sabone kind of going in the mouth of Draco, and you know, the sword, you know, stabbing him there, and just it kind of goes on for quite a few hours. That you know, it's kind of you know, back and forth here, and you know, kind of testing you know, the enemy's you know, kind of you know, willpower here. It does then lead to them forming this friendship, and they have this thing in common about, you know, kind of trying to stop the king. It's a bit more complex than that because of the whole nature of you know, the soul, you know, the kind of heart being tied between Draco and the king, and this definitely makes the film a bit more emotional as we go throughout, and especially in the end, this is a, you know, bit again that did kind of move me yeah, quite a bit, and you know, I think just the whole nature of Draco, seeing it again, obviously I knew the outcome of the film, you know, just the nature of Draco, you know, he's got to, you know, kind of go off, and one thing being, you know, leaving this kind of dynamic that was really, you know, good throughout the film, this friendship, and not kind of seeing Sabone again, but you know, just the whole fact of him going off and dying, you know, to the stars, and the way it's done, you know, if it was really spiritual in the film, the journey that the characters go on, and just the ending, I think, especially to the film, we have, of course, Draco's soul kind of going off, and you know, after the events of you know, the king dying and all this, and he kind of goes off to become a star in the constellation, and you know, join the other dragons as well, you know, him being the last dragon, and he joins them, of course, and just the reaction shots, I think, especially, and that explosive moment there, and you see Dennis Quaid, and it, you know, close up there, extreme close up, you see his eyes and the reflection of what's going on there. It's just a great moment, I think, and just a magical kind of way to end the film, and definitely, yeah, very moving, but also uplifting as well. It's quite a satisfying ending, and even though it's sad that these characters are not going to be together again, we do have kind of, you know, kind of, it's a bittersweet, you know, moment, because of course Draco is kind of finally free, and he joins his dragons, and yeah, it just, you know, I think also it kind of leads to a more hopeful outcome as well. You know, kind of narration there from Pete Postlethwaite, you know, kind of Brother Gilbert, you know, kind of saying that in the darkest of times, you know, Draco, you know, shone even more brightly, and you know, I think it's just a nice kind of bit of narration there, and it is a, you know, really well done ending, especially, yeah, the kind of moment there, and the reactions are absolutely stunning, and the use of music there to the stars, you know, it's just obviously elevates the film. It's absolutely stunning, this score, and whenever this is in full swing, you know, just really gives me goosebumps. I think Kara's a decent character. You know, I think the performance is good by Dina Meyer, but the character, you know, she has a bit of backstory with the kind of intro act. She's the one that kind of strikes the blow and nearly kills the king, and yeah, so it's a bit of weight to the film, and her involvement with different characters as well, and just the relationship between her and Sabone was well done enough. Nothing too, you know, great, but it was fine, and you know, I think other characters, of course, we have Brother Gilbert, played by Pete Postlethwaite. Obviously, he does narration at the end, and all this, and I think throughout the film, you know, it's kind of, this character is quite strange. At first, in the first half, he's really silly, and kind of the jokes, you know, the kind of poetry and all this with the what's going on, and his comments, you know, on Sabone, and his kind of adventures and all this. I think that wasn't, you know, something I really enjoyed that much, and you know, as a kid, I didn't really know, you know, I couldn't really put my finger on it, you know, but it's just some of this stuff I wasn't really big on, and it doesn't really work for me, and I just think it's a bit of a strange character, and Pete Postlethwaite, when it's a bit more kind of serious, you know, he's able to really, you know, kind of deliver a more serious emotional performance here, and you know, I think the character did improve, you know, in the second half, and towards the end of the film, because it was less silly, just simply the comedy for me was a bit too kind of, it took me out of the film a bit, and you know, I didn't find it that funny, to be quite honest, and just a couple of moments here and there, but mainly it's just a bit, you know, this is the comedy, you know, kind of relief character, and it doesn't really work too well, and it doesn't really elevate the film. You know, would have preferred if it had been consistently just this more kind of grounded, normal character in that sense. You know, that would have been great to see Pete Postlethwaite, you know, kind of a bit more, given a more of a serious role consistently, and you know, the kind of a bit more dialogue that was more interesting between him and obviously Dennis Quaid, and yeah, it would have definitely made the film better in the first half. But it was overall, you know, definitely consistently, you know, fun film. You know, I think one of the things to note about this is, it's got its emotional moments and spiritual moments, but mostly it's just nice to see a film that is just concerned with entertaining the audience, and it's just very pure, fun film, very sincere, and just very just to uplift and to inspire this film. And I think it's definitely a film that I enjoy quite a bit, and I think it really is. It's got its emotional moments, but it is just a nice kind of straightforward, fairly simple. There's a couple of moments in the backstory, the exposition, which is but it's mostly very simple the way it's told, and just a very to the point kind of adventure film with. Definitely, if you look and if you kind of go throughout the film later on, there is an emotional weight to the film and a core that is quite unique actually, and I think it's definitely got a kind of unique spiritual feeling, but mostly it is just a fine kind of at times average action adventure film that has nice fantasy elements in it. I think the way Draco is done as well with the CGI was well done, and I think Sean Connery gives a great performance with the voice acting here, and just to kind of hear his voice, as this dragon, it really is great, and I think him, Draco, and of course Saboan, I do really enjoy this relationship, this kind of friendship throughout the film, and that's one of the things obviously that does elevate this, and it's the highlight really of the film, along with the score and just the kind of magical moments here and there. So overall, I do think this is a very charming, kind of nice, upbeat, kind of emotional as well at times, action adventure film, fantasy, and I think it's definitely a lot of the film is average or just fine, and I think definitely elevated by certain moments, aspects of the film, like Draco and Saboan, the kind of voice acting from Sean Connery, and the score as well. I think is absolutely stunning, and the ending of the film is definitely one of the best parts, and just the outcome of this, it's got this real spiritual feeling to this, and just very kind of hopeful, and kind of epic ending. I feel, there's definitely some things I'm not big on in this film, and just different characters, the king, and some of the narrative. It's not super investing, but overall definitely a nice film to watch, and seeing it again was really nice, and just brought back the memories of this one, and I remembered all of the film, and I think definitely the score to this is something that has always moved me, and I think it's epic, it's magical, it's got kind of whimsical moments in the score, but also it's very emotional, and just absolutely stunning. So DragonHeart for me overall is a good film, and my rating for this is a 71%. So a fairly solid score from me. Definitely one that I really enjoy, and I think just it's a nice film. Definitely some weird tonal moments and breaks throughout the film, and just lulls in the narrative. But overall, it's mostly consistent. I think it's just it doesn't get off to the greatest starts of the film, and it kind of just goes, it builds and builds, and I think once Draco and Saboan kind of teaming up in the film, I think that's when it really starts to get a lot better, and I think again, not big on the king and various different characters in the film, and some of the action is not great in the film for me, but I think definitely a nice feeling kind of fantasy adventure film, and it's a warm film. It's got a lot of charm. Some of the comedy works, especially between Draco and Saboan, and the voice acting is great, and Dennis Quaid in this film is just really enjoyable, and I think it's just great for the role. Really a good choice of casting here, and really a cool character, and one that is really likable, but also he can kind of deliver a lot of epic moments as well, and I think it's just a really nice film, and I think definitely heartfelt moments and emotional parts of the film towards the final act. So that's my thoughts. What do you think? It'd be really great to hear your thoughts in the comments, and what's your experience with this film over the years? And definitely one, as I say, I saw quite a few times as a kid, and really nostalgic film for me, and putting this kind of on VHS, and just watching on TV various times, and really just great memories attached to this one, and I do think this is a really solid film, and just a very enjoyable one at times, and I think it's got some great moments for sure, and it'd be really cool to discuss this film in the comments. So yes, as always, take care, and thanks for watching.